Come back. So in this class we see conscience and character. In the formation of a conscience, we have seen last class about the several sources that are available for forming a good conscience. In that first point is conscience and character. There is a serious danger. There is a serious danger if the concentration is only on the choice one makes, Now, the theologians draw greater attention. To character as the more important side of the moral life. Draw greater attention to character as the more important side of the moral character. In inverted commas, who we are. If a judgment of conscience is to be a response from the heart, then much depends on character. Or virtuous life. We need to explore the moral import of who we are, in inverted commas, who we are, and to give full weight to all the factors which influence the formation of conscience. So why we are connecting a conscience and character? Character means all that one's behavior. Not only one day's behavior, not one time's behavior, is a type of behavior. Is called type of behavior, the style of functioning, the style of responding. So, conscience is related to the response one gives. So, there is always there is a relationship which not only mere just like decision is done irrespective of connection. There is a connection to character, the style of functioning of a person. That's why it is more important. What is this character? What is this character which is so important in the moral life? What is this character which is so important in the moral life? As an answer, we can say, when we size people up, when we, in inverted commas, size people up, to get a glimpse of their character, what do we do? What do we attend to? What do we attend to? What do you say when we speak of person's character? We take the impressions what you got of the person. The impressions what you got. Sometimes the person may not be of the same impression always. At certain time might have behaved in certain mode, and some people take for granted that that is the type and that is a fixed. Then everything with dealing with that person with that line of thought only comes. That's why he said it's like a manner of doing. That's why he said, no, size people up. Size people up means you measure by once or twice our experience with the person, then we come to conclusion this person is of this type. After so they don't make evaluation, they don't upgrade. So with that the character is speaking of the people's conscience. We pay attention to patterns of actions. We pay attention to patterns of actions. Patterns of actions which reflect attitudes, dispositions, and readiness to look on the things in certain ways and to choose in certain manner. In certain ways and to choose in certain manner. Character identifies the responsive orientation of a person. Character identifies a person, the responsive orientation of a person. What do you mean by responsive orientation of a person? It is seeing the world as a hostile or friendly place. Seeing the world as a hostile or friendly place. Or being a person who loves and helps, or one who is fearful or selfish. seeing the world as a hostile or friendly place, or being a person who loves and helps, or one who is fearful and selfish. So, this is the orientation of a person. In other words, what we say? In other way, is some are positive to existence, positive to relate others, positive to take up the challenge, positive to live a life. Even if it's hard, difficult, they are not depressed. They are not negative of life. They are positive. So that is their strength. That is their courage. There is a responsive orientation. This is called is a natural gift. Is a natural gift of the person to the person. They respond positively. Even the difficult, hard work, deprivations, they don't are depressed and discouraged. They take up. Yes, I can do it. There's a self-confidence is there. So there's a responsive orientation. This is how you respond. Do you respond positively or do you respond negatively? That's why some are born critics. Even they have not met a person for never. First time meeting itself is my enemy. What is the reason to be enemy? That is the inner responsive methodology system. So that's why sometimes we see dog. Those who are negatively thinking, the dog is going to attack. Unless you harm, it is not going to attack. Unless you harm, it is not going to attack. So also people, unless you do something wrong, they will not get angry. Or sometimes good people, even if you do something wrong, they don't respond negatively. They leave it. So that's called, this conscience speaks of, our character speaks of our type of response that we are going to give. For some, that's why, for some, this world is a hostile world, not friendly world. I have no friends in this world. As they are born, they think they are born into hell. That is the response. But whereas others, for them, wherever they go, there are friends. Even first time going also, hey, I have my friends here. That means they take into confidence others. Why? They have the confidence within themselves. When they have confidence, the same confidence they go. Suppose some say, sorry, I am not able to help. Okay, it may be difficult, but somebody will help me. That's a very positive attitude towards life. So that is called the character. How do you respond? The responsive operation. How your respond orientation you have. That orientation is the what speaks to you. And it is your gift. It is God has given you gift. So that is going to help you. We acquire character. We acquire character by directing our freedom. We acquire character by directing our freedom to loyalties outside ourselves. To loyalties outside ourselves. For example, Christian character is formed. For example, Christian character is formed by directing our freedom, to the person and message of Jesus. Christian character is formed by directing our freedom to the person and message of Jesus as the center, as the ultimate center of our loyalty. As the ultimate center of our loyalty. Character is what results from the values we make our own. Do you understand this sentence? Character is what results from the values we make our own. Suppose there is a example there is a name Satyanarayana. What is the meaning of Satyanarayana? Is the person one who says always truth. Suppose he says always lies. Suppose a person having the name Satyanarayana says always lies. We see some people like that. Name indicates one, but the reality indicates the contrary. Name bears one reality, but the actual situation or living situation contrary. So, what we are saying is character is formed by imbibing the virtues, imbibing the values. You become a person, a truthful person, you become Satyanarayana when you say truth. When you show mercy, you become merciful. When you show compassion, you become compassionate. Because of the virtues, the quality is imbibed in the person. If that are absent, these virtues or values are absent, the person also will be not having that character. So, imbibing the character is presence or absence of values. Respect. Suppose a person is there and never respects others, then that is alien to the person. So, value of respect is should abide in the person. Then in relation it comes to automatically. In relation automatically it flows out. Otherwise it will be like for some action it will be. For dramas and films some may act. Action is one thing but life is another. So sometimes we may act for some time but real life is different. So what we say is our character is formed as a result of imbibing the values in our life. So our aim should be imbibing the values to live. And which are the values? Our freedom must be directing towards the person and message of Jesus. Our model is the Jesus and message of the Gospels. And that is what we must try to imbibe. And that is the worth living life, worth living. Character predisposes us to choose in certain ways. Even though it does not predetermine every choice. Character predisposes us to choose in certain ways, even though it does not predetermine every choice. We can act against character. and by making new choices we can change our character. We can change our character. When you are saying of our character, it is not once and for all. Like our habits, hobbies or habits. What is it saying? Constant repetition makes us perfect. Repetition. So suppose you want to have good handwriting. What is the method? Constantly write that you by improve, and one day you will have good handwriting. Then after having good handwriting, suppose you are not writing, then again you lose it. So also singing. Suppose slowly we want to become a good singer, you practice, and practice makes perfect. And suppose after perfecting, then for some time again we give lapse, not practice, not singing, then don't care, and afterwards what happened? Will it come again? No, again it falls to the. So we can form good character and we can fall away from good character. So there is both possibilities are there, both possibility. We cannot glory once and for all that achieving good character is always mine. But for some time it remains. So only our effort should be always we maintain. How do we maintain? By disciplining ourselves and being committed to our values. Wherever there is occasion, if you need your help, you should show yourself as charitable person. Extend your hand, spend your time, jump in when the possibility is there. So that is a value of service. Suppose we have only good intention of doing service and we never jump in, we never extend, then we lose it. Then it will become a historical person. Once upon a time he was charitable, but now no. So that's why we can form good character, we can also fall into bad character by practice. Only practice is the secret. Even if you don't have now good values, by discipline you can imbibe it. Provided we need to have that determination. I want to imbibe good values, and which is useful for me and useful for other. And that's what our goal of life also. Goal of life also is imbibe the values in life. And that's why everybody appreciates, everybody thanks, everybody looks to associate with a good person. Why this one person becomes good? Because he has or she has undertaken a rigorous practice of imbibing the values. Putting into practice, make a decision and evaluation, reflection and sharing. All this is a continuous process. So that's what is important when we speak of character. So the values should be seen in life, and that is what speaks of character of a person. Okay, second point we see conscience and choice. Second point, conscience and choice. From vision comes choice. From vision comes choice. We respond to what we see. We respond to what we see. The response we make is shaped by the sort of persons we have become. Shaped by the sort of persons we have become. Since we choose on the basis of what we see, who we are, we need some way to check our vision. We need some way to check our vision and character. Do we see what is really there? A question. Do we see what is really there? Or do we see just what we want to see? To answer these questions, what are the questions? Do we see what is really there, or we are seeing what we want to see? To answer these questions, we need to have an accurate grasp of the situation. And to make a proper use of moral norms. A fundamental axiom or principle, the fundamental principle of Catholic morality is that morality is based on reality. Asking the right questions to analyze the situation is the way to move toward seeing reality rightly. One of the important aspects of the morality we should bear in mind is morality is depending on reality. What is the reality? Reality as it is. So, what we are saying is we need to take a accurate perception of the reality. Sometimes we are more concerned about, we are just want to see what we want to see. Sometimes we project our situation, our interpretation, our ideas outside. But outside reality is not same. That is not morality. So morality should depend on reality. So that's very, very important. That's why in formation of conscience we saw no process, accurate perception of the events, reality, and afterwards interpretation. Otherwise, sometimes they don't refer to the reality, and just they want to see this one. Even sometimes we become blind to the reality. Some of the classical example you can see. Suppose you are going to a railway station to receive your friend. In the railway station, so many people are coming, hundreds, thousands are coming. You are just remaining in front of the gate. Are you seeing all of them? You are not seeing. You have a picture of your friend in your mind, then your eyes are, your mind is scanning for that. Sometimes another of your friend comes, you will not notice, because you have only one figure fixed here, focusing that figure only. So others come and go, then after they say, hey, you are waiting, you are not even, I showed the hand, even you are not waving a hand. You are so much immersed. That means you want to see the reality what you want to see, because you never expected another friend will come there, or other faces will be there. There will be, but I am not paying attention. So next class we will see what is the reality revealing questions are there, how we can see what is actual reality, how my decision should correspond to that reality.